have an official statement from the Harpy Warlocks out of Pennsylvania regarding Chester County. And it's very interesting what they have to say about that particular chapter. If you do not know, that chapter was involved with DeLuca, who was the one who just pleaded guilty to the killing of Keith Palumbo. As far as that is concerned, we got a whole lot of information coming out on the other people, but we first wanted to let the family go through the process they have to go through as far as sentencing and all that stuff, and give them that room. After that is done, then we'll go out there and talk more about the other ones. But the Warlocks, the Harpy Warlocks we're talking about here, we're not talking about the ones with the Phoenix down in Florida and other places. We're talking Harpy Warlocks because it is a different club. Don't get them confused. They're different. Anyway, they've been hearing what has been going on, and they really wanted to make sure that everybody knew that the club did not condone this kind of stuff. And I know, as I've covered it, no clubs are going to condone what DeLuca did in this case. Nobody's going to stand behind that. That ain't a brother. That's a killer. And clubs don't want to be associated with them kind of people that do a crime like this. There was no reason for it. Especially when they grew up together. That's one thing I don't get. It's kind of like that other story that we did with the kinfolk and the Bandidos where they were friends for 40 years. I still don't know how that happens. You know what? There's a lot of arguments out there. Well, you know, there are separate clubs that ends the friendship. And I have to say to myself, man, it's hard to find friends out there. And something like clubs shouldn't come in between friendship. I guess that's the way I look at things. But let's take a look here at their statement. Quote, Chester chapter went rogue and broke away from the real Phila Warlocks, I'm taking that's Philly, about 10 years ago. We have no contact with them. What they do in Chester County is on them. There are very few of them compared to the real club. This came from Tristate. He is the 40-year member of the original Warlocks MC Philadelphia chapter. Again, Chester chapter went rogue and broke away from the real Warlocks. Harpies now, about 10 years ago. We have no contact with them. What they do in Chester County is on them. And you have to really appreciate the Harpy Warlocks coming forward and giving this statement, because I believe it's important for clubs to come and give their side of the story. Now, usually what happens is you face where they don't want to talk to the media. And I understand that 1,000% because having to deal with them, there's some underhanded people in the media. Big time. They'll tell you one thing, do another. So why did the club that even want to go out and talk to them? Because they'll change their words around. They always do. The club will say one thing, next thing you know, they chop it up and edit it. That's happened to me. Where they'll take a whole hour conversation into a 2 or 3 second bite, and next thing you know, you're like, what happened? You're sitting there like all dumbfounded. And it's real easy to do that kind of stuff. Since computer land, as I call it, came about, you do a lot of stuff on the internet to make people look bad. And that ain't cool because it's cowardly in many cases. But hey, that's the way the media makes their money. And one of the reasons why clubs just don't want to talk to them. But what I've found is when clubs go to the third-party creators like myself or Black Dragon to try to get a statement out there, we take it word by word in its full and make sure it gets out to you, the people. And it really does help the club's image. A lot of people have to realize a lot of the third-party creators, and this is one thing that upsets media, is we have a huge subscriber base. It's targeted where they would never be able to get that kind of views, likes, or any of that type of stuff. That's why you see mainstream media going after people like Tim Pool, Sticks and Hammer, and some other ones, because on any given day, they have more subscribers watching them than CNN. And they can't stand it. But what does that say? It says people want to hear what's up, the facts, with no spin. They want to be able to trust what they're hearing. And that's why you have a lot more people going towards third-party creators. And I think a motorcycle club, if they came under that understanding that coming to us third parties, we're going to get your word out there. We're going to get it everywhere. And we're going to get it to where it matters. The people that ride, as well as getting at the people that might be able to help out and say, hey man, these laws are bad, they shouldn't be around, all that nonsense. And we've had clubs give off-record comments. This was what's called an on-record comment, because when somebody comes to me, it's off-record unless they tell me, go ahead and quote them or put it on the record. Because I believe that you have to have some kind of ethics when it comes to doing this type of stuff. There's a very fine line, and people have to trust you. Because if you lose the trust, you lose your service. And I believe that's what happened to CNN, MSNBC, and some of these other news outlets, is they lied so much that nobody trusts them anymore. Look at Waco. When that happened between the Bandidos and the Cossacks, CNN was all over the place. But they were taking snippets of everything and throwing them together and making both clubs look like they were the biggest outlaw gangs in the world. They just wanted it to be where they pumped up their coverage to get the numbers. And news isn't supposed to be that way. And it is a sad thing because you scared clubs away. A whole new world would open up to the media if they would just treat clubs the right way, truthfully, with respect. They'd get their statements instead of just getting one side of the story from the cops. Because the cops, they're right there, front and center, wanting to give anything and everything they can, true or not, to the media. They love being in the newspaper. They love being on TV. But you're not getting the whole story if you don't get the club side. So these are really good baby steps, if you will, with the clubs coming forward when there's a serious case like this or a serious incident coming forward to put out a statement. They don't have to come on the air. Give a statement and it gets out, just like this one did and others that we have done. So to sum it up, as far as their statement's concerned, Chester County is not a part of the Harpy Warlocks. They went rogue, they're doing their own thing. And that's another thing. If your club is experiencing that kind of stuff, where you got somebody that's out bad, you want everybody to know about it, send it to us. Send it to Black Dragon. Or if you have a chapter that's gone rogue, send it to us. Send it to Black Dragon or me. we'll make sure to get it out there. Because one thing, if you ever noticed, is when there's any type of dispute between an out bad member and a club, I'll always take the club side. Always. And there's a reason for that. Because there's club bylaws, and if they're going with them bylaws, because I don't care one way or another if I know the actual what's going on. What I do know is they have bylaws, and they're following their bylaws no matter what somebody else is saying out there. So that's my spiel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Go over to Insane Wheels, Monday and Thursday. Nothing but motorcycles over there. No club stuff, none of that. And then, of course, members only. Make sure you visit the pinned comment section. You to see how to join. You get exclusive content Monday through Friday, 9:20 a.m. Rock on. And don't forget to subscribe to Insane Wheels, my newest channel over on YouTube. Everything Harley talk, motorcycle related. It's going to be a great time over there.